The Australian government is telling Australians caught up in the Iran-Israel conflict to shelter in place, while US President Donald Trump is urging people to evacuate Tehran. Joining me live now is Acting Prime Minister Richard Marles. Really appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for coming on the program, Minister. So who should Australians in Iran listen to, the US President or the Australian government?
Well, we're advising Australians in the region, as you say, to shelter in place. Right now, the fundamental issue is that the airspace over both Iran and Israel, in fact, is closed. We've had as of last night, about 650 Australians in Iran registered their interest in having an assisted departure, about 600 Australians in Israel, and so we are putting in place preparations for that. But right now the fundamental issue is the closure of the airspace above Iran and Israel. But as soon as there is any opportunity to pursue an assisted departure, we will.
And has there been any indication from Israel that there may be a window opening soon for flights out of Israel?
Look, I'm not in a position to give a definitive answer in relation to any of that. What we're doing is really working up all the options that we've got available to us so that when there is an opportunity, we are in a position to provide those assisted departures. And in the meantime, as you say, we are advising Australians in the region to shelter in place. We have the Smartraveller website, which is providing constant updates in relation to this, and it does also afford people the opportunity to register their interest in an assisted departure.
According to a letter sent to an Australian from DFAT in Israel that Sky News has seen, the Australian government is arranging bus transportation through private companies to get Australians out by road to Jordan. When can you expect that to take place?
Look, there has been some efforts there, but fundamentally what we are looking at is providing assisted departures by air when there is an opportunity for that to occur. And so they are really the contingencies that we are working up right now.
There's been extraordinary scenes in Tehran as people try to flee the city following Donald Trump's calls for residents to evacuate. 2 US aircraft carriers are heading to the region. The US President raced back to the Situation Room. He said that the people of Tehran should evacuate and get out. Is this an indication that the US is prepping for a strike against Iran?
Well, obviously I'm not about to speculate on what America is going to do, and I'm certainly not a spokesperson for the US government. I think what's important to say is that from an Australian perspective, we are concerned about the prospects of escalation here, and we've been calling for de-escalation now for a few days. Our focus is really on calling for diplomacy and discussion and dialogue. We very much understand Israel's right to defend itself, and we also very much understand the risk to the region and to the world which is posed by Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile program. But for all these reasons, dialogue and diplomacy is what we believe is the pathway forward, and we're saying this as many other countries are around the world, and we're adding our voice to that call.
French President Emmanuel Macron warned any attempt to change the regime in Iran would result in chaos. Is that Australia's position as well?
Well, our position is that we want to see this de-escalated.
Okay.
We are very concerned about the escalation, the potential for escalation here. We are concerned, as we have consistently said, around Iran's nuclear and ballistic missile program and what that poses to the world in terms of the threat to peace and stability. And indeed, President Macron spoke about exactly that a couple of weeks ago at the Shangri-La Dialogue in Singapore. But right now our concern is around the prospect of escalation here, and we really want to urge all the parties to de-escalate.